Welcome back to Just a Minute, Just a Mishnah. This is Mishnah the Nishmas, Fredele Basrachan, L'Schus B'Eli B'Tzchok Ben Gila, and the Frost Serba Service for Shlema. I hope everyone had a wonderful Yom Tov, and I hope everyone is enjoying their Chametz. So we're going to do, for the last 2 days, the Mishnahs, because obviously most of the people listening to this live in England, so we're going to record them separately for the last 2 days. So Masechas Bava Kama Perek Dalad Mishnah Hey Mishnah Vav Shar Hamazik B'Shus Anizak Ketzad. So what's the case? So now the case we're talking about here is what we spoke briefly about an ox which damages in the property of the person who was damaged. So what's that case? Nigach Nogach Noshach Rovat Bot. So if it kicked or if it bit or shoved with its body or pushed or bit or gored, Nogach, Noshach, Rovat, Bot, if it pushed or if it kicked, Birshus Rabim, Mishalim Chatzinezek. So in public property, you only have to pay half. Birshus Nizak, Rabbi Tarfon Ayman Nezek Shalim. If it's in the person who was damaged, the damaged person's property, so Rabbi Tarfon says he pays the full amount. But Chacham Ayman Chatzinezek, the Chacham said he still pays half. Amalei Rabbi Tarfon, so the Chacham said to Rabbi Tarfon, Umav Makim Shehekal Ashein Valaregel, Birshus Rabim Shu Potter. If an animal damages using with shein or regal, meaning it eats or it inadvertently damages in public property, so then Rishus Rabim Shu Potter. So in Rishus Rabim public property, it's Potter. Hechmar Aleim Rishus Nizak L'Sham Nazik Shalim. So just like with shein and regal, where usually in public property they're Potter, and when it happens in private property, so they have to pay for the full amount. Mokam Shechmar Ala Karen B'Shus Rabim L'Sham Chat. So Hechmar Aleim B'Shus Nizak L'Shalem Nazik Shalem. Mokam Shechmar Ala Karen B'Shus Rabim L'Sham Chat Nazek. In addition, Hechmar Aleim B'Shus Nizak L'Sham Nazik Shalem. So just like in the case of the damaged person, I think it's called the damagee. So just like in the shape of when it's in the property of the person who was damaged. So just like when with regel and shein, with the tooth and foot of an animal, then with machmer and they have to pay. So too, in the cases that we just spoke about, where the animal, for instance, gored when it used its horn, so then he should also have to pay the full amount. That's what the Chacham said to Rabbi Tarfon. So that's what Rabbi Tarfon said to the Chachamim to try and prove his point that he should have to pay the full amount for Karen. The Chacham said, no, you can't learn it out, because that doesn't work, because what you're trying to say, by shein and regel, if they damage in the public property, they don't have to pay at all. If they damage in private property, so they have to pay half. So they're saying that you can't learn that out from him, because in both cases, with the Karen with the horn, he has to pay half. So you can't learn out that he has to pay the full amount, because even by shein and regel, he only has to pay half. So it doesn't work. So he said back to them, Amalahem, Ani lo yadun Karen Karen. Fine. So I won't learn out Karen from Karen. I won't learn out this way. And you adun Karen regel. Umab makim shekel al shein v'al regel b'shus rabim. Just like with shein and regel, if it damaged in public property, hechmer b'Karen makim hechmer b'Karen. So if an animal damages in public property, if it damaged with shein or regel, he doesn't have to pay. If he damaged with Karen, he does have to pay. So makim shehechmer al shein v'al regel b'shus nizak in addition tachmer b'Karen. So over here, where shein and regel do have to pay, so obviously for Karen you should also have to pay. The Chacham asked him the same thing. Again, you can't do that. You can't say it like that, because over there, fine, you're saying that shein and regel, they didn't have to pay there, now they have to pay. But before, for Karen, they had to pay then, and they have to pay now. And in both cases, it's Chatzinezek, but he starts to pay here and then, so you can't. The Chacham said to him, you can't learn it out like that. Mishnah Vav Adam Muad La'olam. A person is Muad, he doesn't have to damage 3 times straight away. It's considered regular for him to damage. Bein Shaykh, Bein Mezid, whether it was by mistake or on purpose. Bein Er Ben Yashim, whether he was asleep or awake. Simas Ein Chavere V'Shibas Akelim. If he accidentally blinded his friend, or if he broke vessels by mistake, he has to pay the full amount, and those are yesterday's Mishnah.